See if you can hear me now. Let me know if you can. Please, in the comments. My apologies. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. No idea what happened. Let's see. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Keith, can you hear me? Some people saying that they couldn't hear me. Steven, can you hear me now? My apologies, there was some type of mic. Yes, rest in peace, Ryan Sandberg, who passed away yesterday. I think it was an aggressive form of I think it was prostate cancer, if I remember correctly. You guys can hear me okay? Good. My apologies for whatever was happening with the mic there. I don't know what was going on. But again, last night's game just heightened the need. Franchise, what's good, man? What's good? You know, give me your take on last night's loss, too. I mean, Cam Schlittler is still a developing pitcher. Couldn't get through to 5 innings. I think eventually he'll get through it, but this heightens the need for long relief. And like I said, the Yankees have 2 guys right now that they do not have to trade for, right? And they can bring into long relief. Luis Hill and Ryan Yarbrough, which will help the rotation. So, my apologies, my allergies are killing me. So, prostate cancer, okay. Yeah, rest in peace. Marcel, what's going on, man? What's going on? So, and again, last night, the bats were non-existent. After it was the first and second inning when they scored 2 runs. They didn't have another base runner until the 8th or 9th inning. This is where the Rays, a not flashy but underrated team, drive the Yankees crazy, give them fits, right? No, Yankees need to try to win the rest of the series. There's 3 games left in the series against the Rays. Steven, that's good. No, I was just on, but people couldn't hear me for some reason. I don't know why. So again, my apologies there. Yeah, keep smacking that like button, gang. I appreciate it. Yeah, my father-in-law texted me last night, and I didn't know about it either. So, may rest in peace, Ryan Sandberg. He's like 65 years old. Young dude. Well, exactly. Any rental... Well, I don't mind trading for rentals as long as you're not giving up big pieces for them. Like, I wouldn't mind trading for Willie Castro because they need another bat. And they're looking for another right-handed bat. He's a switch hitter. But they're also looking for Harrison Bader, which doesn't make much sense to me because he's essentially a right-handed hitting version of Trent Grisham with an elite glove. So I don't really see the upgrade there. I would just keep Grisham, right? So, morning, Ken. How you doing, man? What do you know? So, and like I said, I'm not really buying into the narratives of the beat writers. So many ridiculous takes that are pushed on YouTube channels and Twitter from beat writers or twisted from beat writers. I wait until what Cashman and Hal actually do and not base positions and arguments off of what beat writers say. Just like last night, they had all the Yankees are trading for Dustin. No, they're not trading. They haven't traded for Dustin May yet. That was an argument being put out by someone yesterday. Somebody put out on Twitter they're emerging as the front runners for Dustin May. Okay. They haven't traded for the guy. The people are running with that. Why? What are we doing here? You're right, Ken. That's a good one, man. You got to try to bring back Jacoby Ellsbury. Get some of that money back that you paid him, right? Come on, put him in there, man. Jojo Romero and Caleb Ferguson. We'll see. We'll see, Martinez. I don't know yet. Regazzo. Pachuzzi. What's that? Yeah, they're apparently exploring in the exploratory phases of moving Goldschmidt and potentially Bellinger. But I don't know how far now. I don't even know if they've exchanged discussions. I've had discussions with teams actively between these 2 guys. I don't see the point in trading Bellinger right now, but he clearly can get more value than Paul Goldschmidt. There's no doubt about that. But if you do, then you're pretty much punting on the season. And if that's the case, why did you trade for Rosario? Why did you trade for McMahon? I understand McMahon because he's got controllable years. And anybody at this point the Yankees trade for, I hope they have controllable years. I see the logic in Willie Castro, but him and Rosario are both going to be free agents at the end of the year. But maybe they come here, they play well, you can bring one of them back on a reasonable contract. That I can see. I'm okay with that. Because it increases the bench. They're better than Peraza, they're better than Vivas, and so on. But the fact is, Peraza's still here, right? So, when are they going to move him? Maybe when they bring in the bat. I have no idea. Yeah, CC and Ichiro's speeches were good. Good speeches. And even Ichiro gave shout out to the Yankees, man. Shout out to Ichiro. Congratulations. Well deserved. 1 vote away from being unanimous, just like Derek Jeter. 1 vote away. I wouldn't want to be outed as that 1 vote. And what the hell's your argument? What could possibly be your argument? He didn't deserve to be in Hall of Fame. Or really, why? Yeah. Well, what do we do know about DH is when Judge comes back, he's going to get a lot of DH spots. Meaning what? Stanton's going to be potentially moved to the outfield. Meaning also what? They're going to take away from at-bats from Rice, which is why I think Rice is going to be gone by the deadline. For that reason alone. It's just the chips are lined up. The chess pieces are lined up for this. And Rice is one of the 2 or 3 pieces that can extract pitching back in a trade. So I do see him being moved by the deadline. To where I don't know yet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're gonna trade Ben Rice, I mean, if somehow you move Goldschmidt, then you move Ben Rice to first base. That's a no-brainer to me. But if they keep Cody Bellinger, then how are they gonna play Spencer Jones in the outfield if they don't trade him? You move Bellinger to first base, which makes Rice unfortunately expendable. Right? So, and that's why I think they're leaning towards trading Rice. And they've been fielding calls on him for weeks now. Just like they've been fielding calls on JC Escar for weeks. So we'll see if they can actually get what they want to get back in a trade. Otherwise, they're going to keep him. I highly doubt Judge is going to go to first base at any point in time. I think he's going to take over for Stanton at DH. Once Stanton's no longer here. No. You got the rookie. Damn, Keith. You got the rookie cards for CC and Abathia and Ichiro. Nice. Those are good gets, especially Ichiro, man. Keep those, man. Trading Rice makes sense if you can get pitching that makes a difference. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense. No. Yep. Well, this is why I'm not in favor of trading Jones or Dominguez just to bring in Kyle Tucker. Is going to cost $500 million at the age of 29. I'm not in favor of that, me personally. But at the very least, they're going to look into him. But is he that much better than Cody Bellinger? I don't think so. Look at his stats. He's not $300 million better than Cody Bellinger. Judge, yeah, you might be right. He could have surgery this offseason. Yeah, man, we found out yesterday that Clark Schmidt had the internal bracing part of the Tommy John surgery, which accelerates his recovery time, as did Garrett Cole. So that's good, too. Yeah, McClassy, yeah, exactly. Emmanuel Classy, if you haven't heard, he was busted yesterday for put on paid administrative leave for sports betting, gambling on baseball. So he's going to be off the trade block. Does it take Kate Smith? That's a good question too, Ken. I don't know. It could take Kate Smith because he could replace Class A closer, right? But if I don't know, man. That's a good question, Ken. We'll see, Brandon, if they miss the season. As of right now, he's not, but you never know. Yo, Beagle. What's up, Beagle? If Judge misses the season, then yeah, you could probably sell some pieces, expiring contracts. You try to get as much prospect capital back as you can. Yeah, potty training, man. I'm telling you. Jonathan, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good morning. No, but that's where we're at right now. Like I said, Cam Schlittler's performance last night wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but to me, it heightens the need to have 2 long relief guys here, not named JT Brubaker. I like what Brubaker's doing. I keep him around right now. But this, to me, is an obvious case to sell for Luis Hill and Ryan Yarbrough to be in long relief the rest of the season. And especially to protect their arms because they're coming off injuries. And, the Yankees are looking at a starting pitcher. And if they happen to get one who can give them innings, then it just makes that much more sense to put those guys in long relief. And that would be a monster boost to the bullpen. Because right now the bullpen is just in shambles. That's why adding Yarbrough and adding Hill to the bullpen would be a monster boost to the freaking pen. Yeah, I don't know, Jeffrey, if they will. I don't know if they're going to do it. That's a good. I mean, to me, it would be a really good idea. But again, like I said before, I don't work for the Yankees. They don't pay me anything, so who knows if they'll ever listen to somebody like me. It depends. Yeah, there's a lot of frustration, JT, being expressed by, and rightfully so. Right? So we're gonna have to see what the Yankees do in the next 2.5 days at the deadline. Can they do enough to soothe some fans' concerns and worries? But can they do enough to kind of turn things around for the team? I don't know. I don't think any of us do. We'll see. But just people keep saying, "Oh, Cashman, get off your butt." He's been the Yankees have been the busiest team so far, making the most trades. Phillies haven't done anything. Dodgers haven't done anything. Any of the big teams, the Tigers, none of them have done anything yet. None of them. No. You could transition Schlittler to the pen also. Can, especially if they get another starting pitcher. And if they get another starting pitcher, to me, I would have Schlittler and Luis Hill. And that would be super depth in the bullpen. Super depth. Well, I don't know if Gallen, I'm not sure. Gallen, Merrill Kelly, we keep hearing names of individual trades now. Now we're hearing Jake Bird again, right? Well, he wasn't available when they traded for Ryan McMahon. Now he's available, apparently. So, we'll see what they do. And again, like I said, yes, they did. The Tigers, oh, that's right, they traded for Chris Paddock. But that's not really going to move the needle for them. They were in on Eugenio Suarez. Like I said, he got hit in the hand by a pitch yesterday. Thankfully, his X-rays came up negative. So he'll be day-to-day with some bruising, maybe some swelling, but he's no break. So that is probably going to reassure teams that still want to trade for him. The Tigers are one of them. Cubs, the Mariners, the Brewers. So, but, the biggest trade so far has been the Giants getting Rafael Devers. Yep. And beyond that, Yankees getting McMahon, that was a significant trade too. And so far, he's been, as advertised, been good. And even Rosario, nice little debut yesterday too, for him too. So the Yankees, 2 acquisitions so far have, been productive. But they need more. They need a lot more. They need arms and arms and arms. Yeah, well, you got to say the same thing about George Steinbrenner, Siciliano, right? His reign, he went 1978 to 1996 without any championships. 18 years. Are you saying it's just as pathetic as Hal? Because it's there. He didn't win anything from 78 to 96. So we're gonna call Hal and these guys pathetic. We gotta call George and them pathetic too. At least that's my take. You don't have to agree with me, but I want to be fair about this. Yeah, at least you acknowledge that, Siciliano. But again, it's not that easy to just get to the World Series and win the World Series. Especially now, it's a completely different game, completely different business that they deal with now. Yeah, the Padres, like I said, I don't think he's going to move the needle for the Tigers. So when I say they haven't made any trades, they haven't made any significant trades. Tigers, Dodgers, Phillies. Do I expect them to make trades? Yeah. I think the Dodgers are probably going to add like a big arm because they've lost Tanner Scott. They lost a bunch of their relievers and a bunch of their starters, so they need arms, man. Phillies need a closer. So I could see Juan Duran going there from the Twins. You know. Do I think the Yankees to try? Larry, this is a good question. I don't see the need to trade for an outfielder. But there's talks about them trading for a right-handed outfielder like Harrison Bader. What's the point? Where are you going to play him? It makes no sense unless you trade Grisham. But what's the point? Harrison Bader to me is a right-handed version of Grisham. Where's the upgrade there? I would be focusing on arms right now. If you want to get a righty bat, get another righty bat for the infield to fortify the bench. They do have the farm to make significant moves. And that's what Passan said, yeah. Jeff Passan had the farm to get whatever they want. And to a degree, he's right. But they have to be willing to move that. And again, teams have to want what the Yankees have as well. Yeah, exactly. It would be a pointless trade to me. F1, yeah. I haven't seen that yet either. Harrison Bader... He's not going to move the needle any more than Trent Grisham. So I like Bader, but it would be a pointless trade for me. But again, I like Harrison Bader. I like him. But the Yankees need arms more than need an outfielder. Especially when you have Everson Pereira waiting in the wings of AAA and Spencer Jones, so I don't think should be called up until September just to protect his first year pre-arb. No. No. So there's a lot of arguments to be made. We're going to hear a lot of stuff over the next couple of days. I encourage you to not just simply let that be your argument. Or question people who put out saying the Yankees are doing this, Yankees doing that, without any corroboration. Right? What do you think about that? Well, it hasn't happened yet, so I don't have any other opinions about it. So, like, I mean, trade polls is one thing, but flat out saying the Yankees are shopping McMahon, which is a total lie, that was being pushed yesterday. Like, why would a content creator not call that out? It's a blatant lie. Why are we inviting that to the conversation? Durbin, I don't think they don't need Caleb Durbin. Dylan Cease, I could see. It really depends on the price. If Spencer Jones gets called up, I don't think it'll be until September, until the roster's expanded, and I don't think it should be until September. Because if you call him up now and he gets more than 130 at bats, then he's going to blow through an entire year pre-arbitration. And if we think the Yankees are not factoring it in, we got to rethink that. We got to think again because they are factoring it in. That's why they waited until September to call up Dominguez and Wells too, because they didn't want to waste a year of pre-arbitration with them. What can you get back for Goldschmidt? I mean, he's still an elite defender. And again, does trading Goldschmidt mean that they're going to keep Ben Rice? Right? I don't know. Does that take trading Ben Rice off the table? Or by trading Goldie, did they look for a first baseman somewhere on the cheap? Still with the intention of trading Ben Rice for pitching. So it's like one question kind of leads to three or four others, which I think is going to be the difficult part of the puzzle for the Yankees to solve. But they're not going to make everybody happy. We know that already. You know. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, you play Rice more than you can, more often than not, to showcase him if you're going to trade him. Because he hits well. He's a solid player. Stanton's not going anywhere. He's got a full no trade. He's a 10-5 player. He's not being moved. Well, this is true too, Ken. Yeah, you could call up T.J. Remfield, who's in AAA, instead of having to trade more prospects for a first baseman who might be a rental too. give your other guy a chance. Just like you give Rice a chance, give TJ Rumfield a chance. Right? But I see us losing. I don't know about Grisham, but I see us losing Rice and Peraza. Possibly a Scar. I mean, they've been fielding calls on a Scar, but like, where would he go? I mean, I could see as part of a trade to San Diego for Cease, right? But beyond that, I don't know how they would extend the trades. Paul Skeen's not available. Paul Skeen's not being moved by the Pirates. Yep. And Brendan Donovan's not going to happen either, so. Yep. But I would have taken Donovan over anybody. Anybody, because you could have played him in the outfield too. If they trade Rice, I expect it to be to a team like the Twins or the Marlins or the Nationals. Twins or the Marlins and the Nationals. That's why. Just kind of in hindsight looking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to wrap this up in a second here. Got to get inside and start getting kids ready for camp. Yeah, Wells is not really putting forth. But again, you know, who bestowed crazy expectations on him? I don't know. I don't know. But he's still projected to probably get 20 homers and 80-plus RBI, which a lot of Yankee catchers do not do. So there's that, but is that going to be enough? I really don't know. And, well, they've got enough catching to withstand that. So that still remains to be seen. But again, a lot can happen in 2.5 days. Let's see what they do. Let's see. And so far, they've made a trade every day. Goldschmidt, then Rosario the next day. Then yesterday, they traded Carlos Carrasco to the Braves, which maybe they'll use for international money or whatever. Not international money, just for another trade or something. So, buckle up, gang. It's going to be crazy. No, I would not sell Jacob. No. You don't have enough pieces to sell that's going to get you enough back to set you off in a better position next year. I mean, I would move Rice. And again, I'm not trading anybody if I'm not getting controllable years back. That's why Rice has got to bring back controllable years in a trade, right? And it depends on what your interpretation of sell is. So to me, selling is you're moving on from Judge, you're moving on from Cole. If you're going to sell, you go full-blown sale, and that's not happening. All right, we're not doing a flea market. We're doing a whole gutting. That's a sell to me. Well, they started preliminary exploratory for Goldschmidt and Bellinger. I don't see the point in trading Bellinger. All right, unless you're going to bring up Everson Pereira immediately, something. Unless you're going to get Luis Robert in here, so I don't know. What's the point in trading him? Like Goldschmidt, I could see because you have TJ Rumfield who can replace him, but you're not going to get much value from Goldschmidt. No. Cody is the MVP of the team this year, the offense, so that's why I don't see the point in trading him. So we'll see what happens with Cody. We'll see if they trade him or if he opts in and stays next year. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Wells could be a temp for Rafael Flores too. Flores is clearly a better catcher than Wells, with a better arm, better pitch framer, better game caller in the works. But Wells has his value too. So I just encourage folks to just stay level-headed, keep perspective, and just listen. Okay, and let's see what Hal and Cashman do instead of just using what beat writers say as our arguments. Okay, because the majority of the time the beat writers are wrong. Right? So it's just something I encourage folks to consider. They don't have to follow suit with that, but at least, and I can't speak for everybody else, but that's what I would do. But go have a great day, everybody. If any news comes out, you will be getting it here. Peace and love to all yous. See you next time.